earnings. But one is the pie is heavily discounted. It's not going to grow much, or it may not grow at all, but you're getting a discounted pie. Okay. The second is obviously great businesses, right? Growing pies, but the whole planet knows they're growing. Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Salesforce, etc. The problem with the growing pies, which Francis and I am Monish Pabrai and I'm an alcoholic, and I'll say for Francis, I'm Francis Chou and I'm an alcoholic. The problem Francis and I have is we are so cheap that we can never invest in those businesses. We know that those businesses are really good. And we know 10 years from now, when we look at them, we'll say, you dummy, of course it was a great business. Why didn't you buy it? Well, we cannot buy those. Okay. We cannot buy, the day I see Microsoft in Francis's portfolio, I'll jump out of my chair. Okay. So I'm not going to see Salesforce in his portfolio. I'm not going to see Microsoft in his portfolio. And I'm definitely not going to see Amazon in his portfolio. You can just take that to the bank. Ain't happening, even though they're phenomenal businesses. So there's a third category. The third category is where we can actually make some hay. And those are the hidden moats. So we cannot go after the obvious moats because the whole planet knows about them. The cat's out of the bag, we're hosed. It's the hidden moats where the action is. And 11 years ago, I didn't understand this. I just focused on discounted pies. Now I said, I don't want any discounted pies. I've had enough pie to last me a lifetime, which is discounted pies. I want growing pies and I want deep moats, but I want those moats where no human can understand that there's a moat, or very few humans can understand it. And so we can go play there. And maybe sometime if we do another session, if Professor Sando has us back, we'll go deep into the hidden moats. Francis?
So your $100, even if you pay, let's say 100 cents on a dollar, let's say you pay 100, but in 10 years, that is worth 400. But if you go into a company that is not growing, in 10 years, it is still stuck at $100. So which is a better buy? 100 cents on a dollar or 50 cents on a dollar that has no growth? So this is kind of a thing that, we as value investors will always face. We always want something cheap today, but we don't put enough emphasis on what it will be worth, let's say 10 years down the road. And we learn from experience, just like Buffett had learned from experience, that it makes more sense to go with companies that are growing rather than with companies that are not growing, even if you get a big bargain.
Hey, Francis, have you bought Salesforce yet?
No, I bought Apple.
You bought Apple?
Yeah, to make
you happy.
God.
Oh yeah, my God. He paid a double-digit PE.
Yeah, no, I bought it at $160.
Oh, that's great, Francis. Why didn't you call me?
Last year when it went down.
Next time, Francis, call me collect, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, call me collect.
Okay.
I know that from Toronto, it's an expensive call, so call collect.
Okay. We do have that in the portfolio. And the stuff you bought for Stone Trust, you bought Google at 500. I still kept it and went with it.
That's right. I left him Google. It's good that he kept it.
No, it was growing rapidly, so it made sense to do it. Most probably, I would have sold it 20 years ago, but as you know, with experience, you learn a little bit.
So see, there's even some hope for Francis and me. We're still learning.
And then, so the key part is you have to reassess how you have done, where you have been successful, and a lot of times your failures is not the mistakes you made. Let's say by buying the wrong stock. A lot of mistakes are made by not buying the stock that you should have bought, which is much harder to analyze. So second area that I would want students to be careful of is sometimes you go into crappy companies where you can get seduced by a financial bargain, let's say a financial deal. For example, like Buffett knew airlines were really bad. He bought US Air, but he got seduced by a big fat dividend that he got. So he knew, based on his experience, it's a lousy industry, lousy company, I shouldn't be in it. So he just got a little bit, 2-3 points more in dividends, and he got hooked and he got seduced by it. So 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 in essence, what I'm trying to say is that look at the company itself, not at the deal that gets you into it. I had my fair share of that, by the way.